Imagine you're an Indian transgender person or somebody from the LGBTQ community who dreams of moving to the US for a better life. You have heard about opportunities, freedom, and rights for gender minorities in America. But suddenly, you wake up to a new reality. The US immigration will now only consider two genders, male and female. The third gender option, which was introduced under the Biden administration to make forms more inclusive, is now being scrapped. This decision, announced by the US Citizenship and Immigration Services, means that transgenders, non binary, and gender non confronting individuals will no longer have the choice to select X as their gender when applying for visas, green cards, or citizenship. Instead, the US government will only recognize the sex assigned at the birth. If your birth certificate doesn't match with your gender identity, you may have to go through a very complicated process to prove who you are, which could lead to unnecessary delays, confusion, and discrimination. For Indian trans people and non-binary individuals who already face intense struggle back home, this is a huge setback. In India, the third gender has been legally recognized since 2014, following a Supreme Court ruling that granted rights to transgender individuals. Many trans people who sought asylum in the US because of discrimination in India now fear that they will have to face similar challenges over there. Those who don't fit neatly in the male or female category may find it difficult to navigate immigration processes, potentially risking their chance of legally staying in the US. This new policy stems from an exclusive order signed by US President Donald Trump on his very first day back in the office. The order, titled Defending Women from Gender Ideology Extremism and Restoring Biological Truth to the federal government, makes it clear that the US government under Trump does not acknowledge genders outside the traditional binary. Homeland Security officials argue that this move is about common sense and protecting national security, but for LGBTQ plus migrants, this feels like a direct attack on their existence. Last year, under Biden's administration, migrants could select X as their gender marker on immigration forms, making it easier for transgenders and non-binary people to have documentation that aligned with their identity. This was a major win for gender inclusivity, but now that progress is being erased. The new rule states that if a person's birth certificate shows a gender other than male or female, the government will require secondary evidence to determine their sex, opening the doors for possible rejections and additional bureaucratic hurdles. Indian transgender migrants, many of whom seek asylum due to violence and discrimination in their home countries, will now face an uncertain future. Will they be forced to choose a gender that they don't identify with? Will their asylum claims be impacted? Will LGBTQ plus migrants see their American dreams crushed by rigid rules that fail to acknowledge their identities? Beyond paperwork, this change also sends a larger message. It tells transgender people and non-binary individuals that their identity is not valid in the eyes of US government. It also raises concern about future restrictions such as access to healthcare, housing, employment opportunity for gender divisive migrants. For Indian LGBTQ individuals who once saw the US as a safe space, this policy shift is a chilling reminder that rights and recognition are never guaranteed. With Trump back in the office, this decision is already sparking outrage from LGBTQ plus activists and immigration advocates. While this rollback on gender recognition pushed more LGBTQ plus migrants to look for other options, but the question is, will legal battle challenge the policy in court? And most importantly, what happens next for the Indian trans community seeking a better life in America? One thing is clear, the fight for recognition and rights is far from over.